I would like to inform you all about how school cafeterias contribute to obesity in children and how we can go about making a change. Now, obesity in children can be stopped just simply by changing the food provided in cafeterias by the simple plan of budgeting, nutritional help, and knowledge, and at-home solutions. Now, an article written in Food and Medicine states that there was a recent survey finding that at-school lunches, more so people who ate school lunches, were 29% more likely to be obese than students who brought their own lunches from home. Now, school cafeterias do contribute to obesity in children all over America, and I can personally say, as being a student who recently graduated high school, I remember there being a lot of fried chicken and pizza and hot dogs, and there were not a lot of healthy options available, but the ones that we did have were difficult to get your hands on because of the limited supply. They went very, very quickly. Now, we do need to tackle this problem head on before it continues to spiral out of control, and it's our children that are overweight and obese living with medical issues of their own. Obesity in children can be stopped and helped with the change of cafeteria food through budgeting help, nutritional knowledge, and simple at-home solutions. Now, the most common issue in school cafeterias is budgeting. An article found in Live Strong states that elementary school cafeteria food is often mass-produced and chosen for its cost-effectiveness. So, essentially, healthy food costs more, which means that you could get a larger variety of unhealthy foods than healthy foods. So, with that being said, there was an article found in Food and Medicine that states the unfortunate result is that many schools rely on high energy, yet low nutrient value foods to fill up their students. The goals in schools is to keep your students full so that they can have energy to make it through the end of the day, and they don't care about your health and well-being. They just care that you're able to make it through the end of the day without falling asleep at your desk. So, all in all, with that sort of plan set in place, you're lacking a lot of necessary food groups in order to keep students healthy. You're lacking fruits and vegetables and correct grains and proteins. So, there was another article in Food and Medicine stating that a federal law was passed late last year that said to limit the amount of calories in every school meal. That could be worse, being that we're still not providing schools with the necessary fruits and vegetables needed to do so. Food portion sizes are just going to be smaller, and that helps no one at all. Now, not only is budgeting a huge issue, but nutritional value and nutritional knowledge is an issue as well. So there is a lot to know about nutrition, and this is all very important when it comes to deciding what you're going to eat for the day. The Department of Agriculture states that they will require programs to offer more fruits and vegetables for students. This is fantastic. Now, with that being said, there are going to be more nutrient-high foods available to students, but also it doesn't necessarily mean that students are going to pick the more high-nutrient options. Currently, the foods being provided to schools are fried chicken and pizza and hot dogs and Philly cheesesteaks and nachos and ice cream, and that's not helping anyone out. That benefits no one except the school because it costs less for them to implement those sort of food options than it does to provide fruits and vegetables. The foods that I just listed are 100% the issue that's contributing towards obesity, and it's something that needs to be stopped. These foods have high fat and calorie counts, and in the school's mind, high fat and calorie count contributes to energy, because when you burn carbs and calories, you are provided with energy, which is what they want to sustain you to fill out the rest of the day. Now, as for the sugar that you're intaking from the ice cream and other foods, it just sits in you all day. Unless you're going to gym class and physically exerting yourself, the sugar is just sitting in you, and you're not getting anything out of it other than gaining weight. Now, not only is nutrition a huge value, but there are plenty of solutions available to people. The simplest of all is having breakfast in the morning, providing your child with a healthy breakfast to get the correct proteins and nutrients that they need in order to sustain them throughout the day. In doing so, you're also able to teach your child about healthier eating habits, and that goes a long way because by the time they get to school and they have lunch, they can choose whether this is something that they should be eating or if it's not, whether they're going to have the apple or the canned vegetables. So, along with breakfast being the most important option for that reason, it's also good because it gets your metabolism running. And what your metabolism does is it starts burning fat and calories in your body, which in return gives you energy. But when you start your metabolism up, it continues going for the whole day. So you'll hear that people with a high metabolism are generally rather skinny. What you can do for yourself if you do not have a high metabolism is start eating breakfast in the morning because it allows your metabolism to start working right away instead of sitting neutral and not doing anything. Now, so we talked about metabolism, and it gives you essential energy to make throughout the day and help pay attention in class. But another thing you can do is pack your child a bag lunch. If you bring a bag lunch for your child, they have the options that you want them to have. They don't have the option to go up and get pizza from the line because they already have a sandwich in front of them. All right, so with packing a bag lunch, you do cut out the unhealthy options, but then on top of that, there are other things that you can do at a local level to help your situation out. You can write to your schools and you can get the word out and you can loudly voice your opinion, but in doing so, you're also able to involve the entire community in the situation and other people can contribute, and that's when things change and things happen. Now, there are plenty of things we can do to help children stay below the obesity level in schools. We just have to be aware and willing. Now, I recently found in the USDA a statement saying nutrition standards for school meals through the Healthy Hunger Free Kids Act championed by the First Lady and signed by President Obama. USDA made the first major changes in school meals in 15 years, which will help us raise a healthier generation of children. So essentially, Michelle Obama wants to take an act and make a difference. Now, I remember this happened a couple years ago because there were a bunch of different changes in my school cafeteria that actually were incredibly beneficial. But the general idea from this is that you're going to have healthier food provided to your children, and we're cutting out the unhealthy options. And we're providing schools with programs so that they know the healthy options to allow for students. One of the things that this implements is a school breakfast program, which is fantastic because going back to what I was stating earlier about having breakfast in the morning, it kickstarts your metabolism and it allows you to have healthy options, which the school can provide apples and toast and things like that instead of a sugary bowl of cereal. It also allows for updated meal patterns and nutrition standards, which goes back to what I was saying about nutrition, when specific nutrition needs to be provided to the school, which helps provide to the students. So all in all, I think that's something fantastic, and that's something that is occurring right now, trying to make a change towards what our general goal is, which is to lower the obesity levels in school cafeterias. So there are plenty of issues in school cafeterias that lead to the rising obesity rates in children. Those issues include budgeting for food, nutrition provided, and nutrition knowledge in students so that they can make their own healthy choices. I found an article here that states that stronger policies are needed to provide healthier meals to students at schools, limit their low access to low nutrients and energy-dense foods during the day. There are, however, a couple simple at-home solutions available which you can make a change for your student at a community level, which would include packing your child a big lunch and feeding them a healthy breakfast, and even writing to your local school district. Now, budgets and lack of knowledge is deciding the fate of our youth. Let's do our part to stop childhood obesity caused in schools. These kids deserve a chance.